go before we actually see a female go into one of these top leagues and have an appointment that's longer than 4 to 5 games. I think we've got a long way to go until that happens.
Yeah, because what can you do in that time, Rosie?
I think it's a feeling that she'll probably be feeling that most females experience when they walk into a room full of males, that they have to prove themselves and the spotlight is on them. But if you look at football now, probably 5 to 6 games is all you get to number one, win the team over, get results and win fans over. So football's kind of got to that point now where managers are getting a shorter amount of time to get that success, and this is probably no different. However, it still resonates with me that they're short-term appointments, and although we celebrate the success that yes, we've got a female manager in one of the top leagues, again, it's a short-term appointment. I'm waiting for a club to be brave to make this a longer-term appointment.
And for you, what were the biggest challenges being in that male-dominated environment when you were coaching men?
I think, firstly, my own insecurities. I think when you walk into rooms like that, you start to have a lot of self-doubt, like, do I belong here? Do I know enough? And if I'm going to get challenged, I'm definitely going to get challenged in a male environment. And that was probably my biggest battle before anything else, was building my own confidence, my own resilience, and believing that I was there because I had a purpose and I was good enough to be in that role to begin with.
It's interesting, isn't it? I'm just thinking of Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, and they said so much of it is down to that psychological, what did they say? Something like a steel will on winning, which obviously he has worked on over the years. But it's interesting that so much comes down to how we think about things. We do know that male coaches receive an awful lot of abuse when they are managing a men's team. Is it more for a woman, do you think, as a female coach?
I think it's a little bit more personal abuse. I think that, I've been in the non-league for a very long time, and there's abuse you get week in, week out, but then there's also that abuse that oversteps the line. And I experienced that quite a bit throughout the time that I was at Stanway Pegasus, and the club was very supportive, the leagues were very supportive, and you know what, I wouldn't change those experiences because it's made me more resilient, and it's made me a stronger coach than I've ever been, being in that environment.
And why did you decide then to move to coaching a women's team, which will be, as I mentioned, Scotland?
Yeah, I felt like I got to a point where I'd done all I could at that club, and we'd reached the playoffs for the last 3 seasons, and I'd done the best with the budget that we had, and I didn't really feel like I was getting challenged as much anymore, and it became more of a routine every day going in, whereas I wanted to be in an environment that was going to challenge me and be uncomfortable again.
Everybody can